I've heard countless times, I'm arrogant to think that people can get themselves out of certain situations. I've heard, yell at me to make me do better. I've heard it all. And I will oftentimes refer to these men, because that's who they were, as immature and or children, no matter their age. Hopefully they are children. But what I will always say, man, if you don't like my channel, change the channel. But stop feeling sorry for yourself. If you are the United States of America, do you have limits? I don't think the limits are as great as people think they are or perceive them to be. I think the real limits is the limits that we put on ourselves. I think we enjoy feeling sorry for ourselves. We like it. We like our lives being fucked up because it's this self-perceived notion that if my life is fucked up or if I suffer, when I pass on, I will be treated better by God. I brought this up. A lot of people think in religion that if you suffer here on earth, you get everything in heaven. But I always break things down with circle of life. If you're suffering here, let's talk about how you're suffering. You have no money, so how do you eat? Somebody else makes money. So you're suffering, your environment, your situation, your family, the people who you claim you love, you're suffering. So what are they doing? They're making money and they're barely feeding themselves and everybody else. You're not making money. You're not working. You're too busy expressing your feelings and how you're suffering and you're poor and you feel sorry for yourself and you think you're going to get some reward. You're not. You're going to continue to suffer as you should because you deserve it. At the end of the day, you wake up, you have a chance. I'm not saying you're not a victim of something. I'm not saying you don't have problems. What I'm actually elaborating on is who doesn't have problems, who won't perceive themselves as a victim. And I don't think we should sit at the table and think or have a discussion on who can actually be perceived or treated as a victim versus someone else based on what they went through. You're religious, right? All sin is sin. All victims are victims. We're not going to put a scale on it. What you're going to do is you're going to reconcile what you need to do to better your life, to make it a part of something that's balanced within your life. You might need to get some help, but go get help. But don't stop and say after you get help, you're going to go back to embracing being poor. You're going to go back to embracing not having money. You're going to say money is gay and, money is this because, it was evil. And I always say we talk about money so freely because money can never defend itself. You feeling sorry for yourself. That's your problem. Money is not your problem. If you had money, you know how many people get a lot of money and they make a lot of bad decisions because they had bad habits before they got the money? So just like somebody who don't have money that's always crying and bitching, you're going to have a fucked up life because you do fucked up things. Clean up on our fuck up. You got to go take the mop to go clean that shit up. When you take a shit, you wipe your own ass. You fix your shit. That's what grown men do, not boys. You understand me? So stop feeling sorry for yourself. And we're going to talk about it all. You want to bring up race? Stop feeling self-pity. As a black man, you're not going to ever force a white man to like you. If they don't like you, they don't like you. I've seen it time and time again. We need to focus on making people. You're not going to make anybody do anything. You're going to make yourself do what you're going to do. And whatever you want, you better continue to make yourself do what's necessary to get what you want. If you want nothing, I feel sorry for you. Don't ever feel sorry for me. You understand what I'm saying? You guys are mad at Trump and Kamala Harris, and you broke as fuck. You was broke before the president was decided. You was broke 30 years ago. Your grandma was broke. Your daddy was broke. Habits. You understand what I'm saying? This is going to be some shit that's going to ruffle feathers. Who cares? Because you need to look in the mirror. More often than not, the person who is responsible for all your fuck-ups is the person you see in that mirror. You understand me? You're the biggest scam of your life. Let's bring up college. Oh, we're going to go down the list. Let's bring up college. College is a scam, depending on who the hell you talking to. What did you go to college for? Some bullshit degree? Let me guess. Somebody who told you to go to college never went to college. Not only did they never go to college, they didn't have the education, they didn't have the information to give you some vital advice before you actually choose a major when you do go off to college. So then you did what? Because that was your weak process, unfortunately, you chose a degree, you chose to major in something that wasn't going to be beneficial for you within our society that's ever growing. Let's keep going. You scam yourself in college. Not college is a scam. If you would have been a doctor or something, we need doctors. Oh, let me guess. That's not for you. It's too hard. What was you doing in college? Depending on who I'm talking to, you know what I'm saying? Accountability, let's continue. I know it's everybody kryptonite. I don't own kryptonite, but I do have raw conversations. Let's continue. Now we're talking about everybody can't be content creators. Well, you said you couldn't go to college and be a doctor, so you majored in something bullshit. It's not beneficial for society, is it? But technology is ever growing. I mean, I knew that since high school. Everybody's not going to be a content creator, but you're not going to knock content creation because you mad that people can do it at a higher level than you. This is maybe not what you're born to do. You're not good at it. You're not practicing. You don't have the personality. People are not selling their soul. They're being who they are, just like having a conversation. But you know what we can do? We can leverage. It's just like investing. It's just like financial literacy. A lot of people lack that, so they probably don't even know what leverage and margin is. I can leverage these conversations, meaning instead of me holding it with 2 or 3 people or a bunch of family members who are going to get in their emotions because they don't agree with me, I can reach thousands, maybe, possibly, if I'm fortunate enough, millions of people. And they're going to get in the comment section and say, yep, I agree. And of course, you're going to have the people that don't. We don't care. We're speaking how we speak. We're talking about our conviction. Our opinions is our opinions. We're not committing a crime. Freedom of speech. I'm not insulting you. I don't know you. I'm not saying it to your face. Common sense. Common sense ain't so goddamn common, is it? So, for you feel sorry people, for the people that's always trying to blame, and for the people that don't want to hold themselves accountable because it's kryptonite, yet there is no kryptonite on earth. You soft. That's about it. You're hypersensitive. You don't want anybody to control you, but you want to control everybody. You don't like society. Society probably don't like you, but you are a part of society, so it's full circle. You've probably mistreated somebody, but you don't want nobody to mistreat you, hypocritically reacting. You want to choose who has a voice, but you don't want nobody to tell you whether you should or not have a voice. Hypocrisy being put on full display. At the end of the day, if this content ain't for you, it's not. If you're not a content creator, get out of the space. If you broke, get a job. If you think college is a scam, you probably scam yourself. If you're scamming yourself, change your situation. If your family don't honor you, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through what a lot of other people go through, but like I always say, people have a far worse hand than you, and they're playing it better than you because they're actually focused on playing to win. You're focused on why you don't have an easy hand to just win. We're not children. But if you go through these things, somebody else has went through it as well. Use that as inspiration to change your mindset. Use that as inspiration to change your conviction about who you are and what you can do with your life. Devote your time and energy to progression, mentally, physically, spiritually, everything, financially. You can't have one without the other. It's all full circle. I don't think we really emphasize this enough in life. But that's self-pity. It's there. You may even be accurate. You may be correct. You may need some type of empathy. But if you're dwelling on it, it's counterproductive, which means if you continued on that path over the long run, you're going to suffer more than you would have if you just didn't allow it to consume your decision making and didn't allow it to consume how you spent your time, because through that consumption of you dwelling, you spent your time feeling sorry for yourself. And in the end, nobody is going to help you out of a hole that you dig yourself in, because most people themselves are in a hole that they dug themselves in. Do you follow me? So you're going to have to change your life. Nobody's going to do it for you. You may not like this conversation, but it needs to be had because we have too many people walking around feeling sorry. The higher the mountain, the better the view is once you get to the top. Why are you not climbing? Because you're feeling sorry for yourself. Man, your mama didn't honor you. Your daddy didn't honor you. You needed that love. I get it. My mom died when I was a kid. I never got a chance to know her. If you have anger and aggression, try to put it somewhere. If not, use it to do something great with yourself. Do something better. Start a business. It may not work, but you'll never know if you don't start the business. Use that anger, use that self-doubt and say, you know what? If I'm going to do anything with my life, it will be me conquering all of this self-doubt and this lack of belief in myself, this consistent onslaught of me thinking that I can't do something with my life when all I need to do is apply myself. I may have to acquire some knowledge along the way because that is a key concept. It's essential to the process, and I need to do whatever it is that's essential. That's not something that's coherently against or bring a negative impact to what I want to do, but whatever it is that's going to be essential for my process, whether I want to do it or not, that's a part of discipline. And give myself a chance to possibly yield something that's meaningful. But feeling sorry for yourself and bitching and whining and, oh, all you do is talk about this and all you do is fucking complain. I bet I got more results than you. You want to know why? Because I don't complain. Success leave clues. You may not like the tone, but did you get the message? Are you focusing on the message? Tell me you're still a child without telling me you're still a child. Society is very hypersensitive. Everybody can be hypersensitive. When shit hits the fan, and it will, what are you going to do? That hypersensitivity is not going to help you whatsoever. And like I always say, you're going to suffer. And you should, because that's what you brought upon yourself due to your actions. You're not 10 years old anymore. You're not a child. What you do, your parents are no longer responsible for. It's completely up to you. Everything that you go through, every decision that you make, whatever comes of that decision, it's all on you. It's precisely your fault. You're going to be held accountable as if you was on trial for something that you've done, and you will get time if you are found guilty. That's life for your ass. The guy that don't look like you, that racism and all that colorism and prejudice and all the isms and social, as long as humans are walking the face of this earth, we possibly going to have all that. But you know what you better not do? Feel sorry for yourself about it, because that shit's not going to help you whatsoever. It's not going to be complimentary for your life. You're not going to have anything meaningful that comes from that. And I'm starting to bring my tone down, because I can be passionate about this all I want, but let me just make this clear. A lot of people, whether they express it or not, they understand that we all live and die. A lot of people understand they cannot calculate when their time is going to stop ticking. Without them expressing it physically with their behaviors or even vocally, they are focused and adamant on doing whatever they want to do with their life before their time runs out, because they don't know when. So before you seek empathy and somebody to come hold your hand and make you feel good and you get validation from them, just understand, most people don't have time to cater to your wants and needs, even if it is vital. And you are absolutely correct. Humans don't give a fuck. For the guy that kept spamming me saying that your parents don't honor you, if your own blood does not honor you, what is giving you the notion to perceive society to stop what they're doing with their own blood and kinfolk, skinfolk, whatever the fuck term we come up with, to devote time for your want of validation, sympathy, and empathy? Their clock is ticking. They're possibly honoring their children. They're not going to give a fuck about you. That may not be what you want to hear, but I can tell you right now, if you was paying attention to how people are behaving around you, whether they know your story or not, that's about as real as it's going to get. No fantasies over here. And if you do run across someone who helps you and wants to support you, that's great. Love that person, respect them. I hope you make it big. They better be the first person you give something to or take care of, because they're rare. They're like unicorns. I don't look for unicorns. I look for the diamond in the rough within the shit that I'm going through. We all got dirt. I'm digging through my shit. I'm not asking for anybody to bring another shovel, because guess what I know about the shovel and people helping you dig dirt? People make more money selling shovels than they did digging for gold. You're going to dig your own shit. You're going to buy and sell your own shovel to dig your own shit. And you're going to find your own gold. You're going to find your own diamonds in the rough. You're going to dig through your own dirt. It's your mess. No one cares about your story unless it relates to them. And even then, what I talked about, skinfolk, kinfolk, race wars, most people don't give a fuck about you if you're not a part of their race. You're not going to be able to change that. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. You got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of talent. You got a lot of shit going on up here. Use this and do something with your life, because that shit, that perfect world you want so bad, that shit does not exist. And your self-pity and you're dwelling on it, and that's not going to change shit.